back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And it looks like JT and Ckiminaj get their revenge on Cardi B. Cardi B faces her own karma because it looks like Cardi B's new song, Imaginary Faces, is an imaginary hit because unfortunately it is flopping on the charts and Tlantic Records is not too happy. Imaginary Charts by Cardi B debuted at number 147 on the US Payola with 3,336,000 streams and had already exited the US Payola chart. Ckiminaj Super Freaky Girl did 1.5 for US Spotify debut. Are You Gone Already did 963,000. Barbie Dangerous did 953,000. Last Time I Saw You did 923,000. FTCU After Club Up did 917,000. Beat Beat did 785,000. Falling For You did 733,000. While unfortunately, Imaginary Surgeries did only 700,000 for global and US Payola debut. Okay. Not only that though, JT did 500,000 streams on her first day release on Payola for OK, which is not much from what Cardi B did for Imaginary Surgeries. So a lot of fans want to know if Cardi B gonna be hopping out the plane since Ice Spice, JT, and Ckiminaj have all basically outsold her, okay? Without a camel face sample. And what's worse, Bia and her song called Mommy did 734,000 streams in its first 24 hours, which was more than Cardi B's Imaginary Faces single, which has a camel toe sample. So she's saying that she's outselling the girls, but based on these stats, that's false. And you don't even want me to get to Ice Spice and Meg, okay? Because it's going to be looking real bad for Cardi B. But unfortunately, Tlantic Records is not happy with how Cardi B's latest two songs have flopped on the charts. Outside went top 10, but it definitely didn't stay in the top 10 like Cardi B lied in the Tumors record she had with Lizzo. She said something of the sort, my records live in the top 10, which was completely false. And then she wanted to go flop for flop with the other female rappers, and she can't even do that because they doing better than her. The execs at Tlantic Records don't think Cardi B is going to do the numbers that they thought she was going to do. And so they're really banking on the merch and the vinyls that she has already sold before she dropped Downside and Imaginary Faces. They're really hoping that she does decent with the purse sales because they don't think that her album is going to do what they thought it was going to do. They were shooting for, 250, 300,000 to kind of surpass Ckiminaj. They don't know if that's going to be the case, okay? Now, I feel like I said before, when it was announced that she was sampling Camel Face, she shouldn't have sampled Camel Face because he's not hot right now. Like, nobody cares about the Camel Face feature, and I don't feel like she killed the record. People are like, oh, she had bars. No, she didn't, okay? She needs to be behind bars for drugging and robbing men, but she doesn't have any bars lyrically, okay? And that's a testament to this flop-ass single. Now, unfortunately, the kitty litters are also dragging Cardi B. They are talking about how Attention by D0JA Cat debuted at number 13 on the global Payola chart with 2.86 million streams. It also debuted at number 3 on the US Payola chart with 1.15 million streams. And a lot of fans are hoping that she's going to do numbers this week with her new single, Jealous Type. Do you feel like Jealous Type will outstream, what's it called, Imaginary Faces? Well, I feel like it's a different type of record. Jealous Type gives more pop, but I feel like Doja Cat, she's just overall a better artist than Cardi B. I think Doja Cat can rap better. The visuals are better. Like, Doja Cat can do a visual without twerking or being half naked, unlike Cardi B, who has to, do that, because if she doesn't, nobody is tuning in for the music video. Okay. And then on top of that, I feel like one thing about Doja Cat, she can do a lot of elements of pop. Cardi B, she has a few pop records, but I don't know if she has a say-so. Does she have a say-so? Okay, a solo pop record that just a smash hit. Do she have a super bass? No, she don't. And I don't think she'll ever get one, to be quite honest. Now, unfortunately, Halle Bailey is getting dragged by her dreads or locks. Halle posted on social media and said, "I want to thank the city of Los Angeles for this incredible honor to be recognized for speaking up about maternal health and my own postpartum journey is really humbling. Just a reminder that vulnerability is not a weakness. It's the bridge that connects us all." Unfortunately, the Doodle Garbage's fans were not happy that she received this award. They said this is a PR stunt to set up the protection of what's going to be exposed on August 20th and 30th. She knows she effed up, so she's going to blame everything on postpartum depression. Another fan said, "So let me get this straight. There are men who get canceled by the whole earth for abusing a woman. But Halle Bailey gets an award from a city, even though she's mentally and physically abused her boyfriend and tried to unalive her child without his consent." I don't think that happened like that. Here's the thing. This is why I said Halle Bailey, and I've said this from the beginning, and y'all know. Halle Bailey should have never gotten with Doodle Garbage. Ever since she got with that man, it's only been downhill. I never see Halle Bailey get praised for anything. She only gets dragged because of that ugly-ass man. Okay? He ruined her reputation, and he definitely ruined her career. I definitely don't believe that Halle Bailey was physically abusing Doodle Garbage. I definitely believe it was the other way around. But do I feel like she manipulates certain situations? Absolutely. I don't think that she's completely innocent in the situation. But let's not pretend that Doodle Garbage did not get with Halle Bailey because of the clout that she had. Okay? Not no YouTube streaming clout. She had clout beyond that. Okay? She was going to the Oscars. She's going to the Met. She's going to the Grammys. She's going to certain awards and places that Doodle Garbage cannot get to by himself. And that's why he originally got with her. He wasn't getting with her because he really liked her like that. I think it was all strategic play. Okay, because he thought it was going to help his career outside of YouTube and streaming. Once he realized it wasn't going to do that, that's when he started acting out, okay? Once he realized people not just going to stream your music because you're with Halle Bailey, that's when he realized, oh, okay, I'm finna fuck her over. Okay, that's what it gives. I really don't believe that Halle Bailey was ever his type. Look at the girls that he actually dates, India Love, Ruby Rose, a lot of these Instagram thoughts. They are the polar opposite of Halle. So I think it was a strategic play to trap Halle Bailey, and that's why I don't feel any sympathy towards him. Now, moving on from that, Cardi B goes live and discusses her flop-ass song that is her lead single. Take a listen to this, Garbage Gang.
Whether the conversation is good or whether the conversation is bad, guess what? At least it's a conversation. You know what I'm saying? At least I got a fan listening to it, and then I got a hater listening to it. At least y'all listening to it. There's bitches that drop and nobody listen to their shit. Nobody give a fuck about their shit. And I'm just very grateful, very thankful about that, because it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Cardi B, unfortunately, you will be receiving 500,000 lashes, and you must be talking about yourself, because it looks like Imaginary Faces is currently aiming for a top 80 debut with 3 to 5K digital downloads and 4 to 6 million streams. Isn't this supposed to be the lead? The first song you dropped off the album, Downside, Garbage Gang mass bought the first week, and you were able to get a top 10, but then it fell out the top 10 so easily, and it's basically flopping on the charts. Now, your second single may not even chart, but it's supposed to go top 80? And you expect me to believe that you never received payola? And you talking about, oh, when the other girls drop, nobody listens. Clearly, it's the same for you, ho. The problem is with Cardi B is she thinks that she's above, JT, Megan, Bia, Ice Spice, and bitch, you're on the same level. They actually look better than you because of all the facial surgeries you've gotten, but you guys are on the same level stats-wise. You were just pushed by the industry to take Nicki Minaj out, and clearly you have failed. Okay? And that's why I have to give you 500,000 lashes. But not only that, Cardi B Imaginary Surgeries has earned 300,000, 76,000 streams its second day of release on Payola total. Okay? And it also has left the US Payola chart. So with that being said, you are the flop that you was talking about in your record. Okay, you having a flop off, clearly. I don't want to hear anybody say that Cardi B's an icon, a legend. Can't be. For your second album, these are the numbers you're doing. For your second album, these are the numbers you're doing. No wonder you had to put Whopping Up on your album. You living in the past. You had to put old songs on your album just so you can have some sort of accolade. Because if you didn't, your whole album would be a flop. Okay, I'm on to the schemes. But unfortunately, you're still a flop in my book and you have no talent. Okay, let this be a wake-up call to Cardi B and her multiple faces. You are not that girl. Sit down. Now, moving on from that, Off the Cheat is receiving 50,000 lashes. Reason being is because he put out a trailer for his album coming out this Friday. And a lot of fans are saying that, he is copying Kung Fu Kenny's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers theme for his album that he put out back in 2022. Now, Justin Bieber recently tried to copy, Kung Fu Kenny, failed. So did allegedly Tyler, the Creator. And some fans are also saying YG also tried to copy Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kung Fu Kenny. And I watched the trailer and it did seem as though he was trying to copy Kung Fu Kenny. Because we know damn well Off the Cheat do not know nothing about therapy or seeking help. Okay? His version of seeking help is getting his D-sucked by another woman that's not his wife. And that's why he's going through divorce now. Okay? Now, with that being said, I'm not mad that Off the Cheat is inspired by Kung Fu Kenny. A lot of rappers are. But you've been bigging up Champagne Thickums all throughout your interviews. Why don't you copy him? Because he's not creative. That's why. Number two, I just don't feel like it's authentic to the person that Off the Cheat is. And number three, unless Off the Cheat is talking about his sex addiction that he has in this album and why he was so terrible in his marriage and the steps he's taken to make himself better. If he's not doing that, then the album's going to be trash. Okay? Because Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, this was Kendrick Lamar's turning point in his career, in his life, where he's looking back at the mistakes that he has made. He's seeking healing. He's seeking therapy. he's seeking a different path. If Off the Cheat ain't doing that, then this album is pointless, okay? Because it's not like you got a hit song out. You shouldn't even be putting out an album. Both you and your ex-wife are flopping, okay? Y'all shouldn't even be putting out no damn albums. Y'all should just become influencers and call it a day. Stay at Fashion Week and leave the mic alone. Now, moving on from that, it looks like SZA and Frank Ocean have the same alternate account concept. A lot of fans are speculating that a collaboration could be happening between SZA and Frank Ocean. I like Frank, but it's like you haven't been consistent like ever. I don't even care to hear a new Frank Ocean music like that because I feel like he ain't gonna live up to the hype. He been gone for how many years, running away from Universal and Lucian. I got that tea on Patreon. I feel like he not going to live up to the hype when he come back, in my opinion. That's just how I personally feel about it. I feel like it's all going to be a bunch of fluff and bluff. Okay, he not really going to come back and give us another Novocaine, give us another Swim Good. If he ain't coming out and giving us that, sit the F down. Now, moving on to Sean Big Ass Kingston. He will be receiving 100,000 lashes, which is probably more than what he has in the bank. He has been sentenced to 3.5 years in prison for a $1 million fraud scheming. According to federal prosecutors, Kingston and his mommy orchestrated a scheme to obtain high-end items, including luxury SUVs, jewelry, expensive watches, and a wall-sized TV without paying for them. Then Sean and his mama falsely claimed to have made wire payments for the merchandise, but investigators later confirmed the payments were never completed. In addition to 3 years of prison time, he is also being sentenced to 3 years of supervised release, which means probation. And his mama was sentenced to 5 years of prison. And this is why I tell you, a lot of these celebrities are low-key broke. A lot of these celebrities ain't really got it like that. Don't be fooled by their fake net worth on social media or on Google that they can pay for. A lot of them don't really got it like that. If you had money, and I know you a flop because you haven't released a hit and I don't even know how long, but the fact that you just couldn't live below your means or get a regular job, okay? You could have been, a writer or just producing music for other artists. But no, you decided to scheme and got your mama tied up in a mess. You are receiving 100,000 lashes. This is despicable. Now your mama got to go to jail? That's sad. That's just sad and evil. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Lana and Ethel Cain's beef behind the scenes, and also the chart-obsessed racist and her issue with Jack Adolf. That tea is on Patreon. Link will be in the description. I hope you have a great day.